my name is Deb from DG Reads, and this is my furry sidekick Promptball Kylee, and we're here today to pick my November TBR. When I saw a gumball machine costume for dogs, I mean, could I have not bought it? No, I don't think so. So, Kylie's gonna go live her best Promptball life behind the camera for a bit so I can get started on pulling some books for my November TBR, and then we'll talk about what my other plans are for reading in November. If you're not familiar, Promptball is my gumball machine full of reading prompts, and I use it most months in one way or another to help me pick my TBR. The general use is to go ahead and pull some prompts at the beginning of the month, pick some books, and hopefully read them during the month. I did not do this in October since I was participating in multiple readathons, which all had kind of a roll as you go, pick books as you go sort of format. So I'm excited to be back with it now and reading some more Promptball books. So I've been thinking about ways to kind of make this just a little bit more interesting for myself, possibly for you also. And I think what I'm going to do is there are 5 different colors of Promptballs in here, and I'm going to start each month planning to pull 5 balls. And to add that extra interest, anytime I get more than one of the same color, I'm going to pull an extra ball. That's only going to be for the first 5. I'm not going to keep going eternally because after 5, the chances of getting extras really goes up and up. But I thought that would be a fun way to kind of increase my planned TBR just a little bit. And then possibly if I don't get to all of these books in the month, I think that will be an extra pull as well for the following month. So that's the plan. We'll see how it goes, and let's get to it. I have my 5 quarters to start with. Let's see what we get. First up, in a purple ball, for Around the Year in 52 Books, I have a book with a number in the title. For a book with a number in the title, I figured I should do the smart choice and go for the one that I picked for my Horror Bingo TBR, because for hard mode, for that one, I needed a book that had 2 numbers in the title. And this is, of course, the Horror Bingo Challenge brought to us by Sarah at Wicked Reading, and I am already having so much fun reading for these prompts, so this is a good one to pick up. It's not a book I own, so I do have it on hold at the library, and hopefully we'll be getting it soon so I can read it in November. And the book is 1 Second After by William R. Fortune, and this is set in a post-apocalyptic America. America has lost a war, and in 1 second, all of technology was wiped out by an EMP, and we're following a man trying to save his family, save his small town, as they're basically sent back to the Dark Ages, is my understanding. So it had me intrigued. It had some good reviews when I looked online. It's a little bit older. I think it came out in 2009, if I'm remembering right, but I will be checking this one out for this prompt. Second ball is green, and this is to read a book from Fairy Loot. Okay, for a Fairy Loot book, I have so many options, but I kind of looked at what I have audiobooks coming pretty soon on my Libby holds and what I had easily accessible because I'm in process of reorganizing some of my books. And what I came up with is A Feather So Black. This is by Lyra Celine, and this edition just has been calling to me ever since it walked through my door, and it's just so pretty with the foiling. The edges on here are absolutely stunning, and the artwork, I just love the color palette of this, and the underside as well is just gorgeous. So I think this is the one that I will be going with. Do I know anything about the actual story? No, this is purely a cover pick. It says, A Feather So Black is a sizzling fantasy romance set in a world of perilous magic and moonlit forests, spinning a seductive tale of a changeling princess, her cursed sister, and the dangerous Fey Lord she must defeat to save her family. So this is my Fairy Loot pick. Third ball, green again. And we have a book with a randomized color on the cover. Okay, so for a cover with a randomized color on it, I am going to go ahead and spin a spinner wheel. So let me do my screen recording, and ready, set, and spin. looking for a cover with yellow on it. Yellow isn't a super popular cover color on my shelves, apparently, and I've read a few yellow books recently, but I did find a couple of options, and I think in this case what I'm going to go with is another book from my horror bingo TBR, and that is to read Your Utopia, which is a short story collection by Bora Chung and translated by Anton Her. And this is on my bingo board to read a book from a person of color who is new to me. So I haven't read this author before, but they have been on my radar, and this is something that I am looking forward to. This one says, these chilling news stories will crawl deep under your skin and change the way you see the most mundane objects and everyday interactions. So clearly I'm not over spooky season. I never am, but I definitely am looking forward to adding some more chilling stories to my reading. Blue Ball. And this one is for Around the Year in 52 Books. And the prompt is a book posted in one of the Around the Year in 52 Books Best Book of the Month threads in 2023 or 2024. So that should mean a lot of good options. For a book posted on one of Around the Year in 52 Books Best Books of the Year, I scrolled through quite a lot. I've read a number of the books, so I was looking specifically for something that I owned that I haven't read yet. And one that jumped out at me, largely because of the really pink cover, was Anniebot by Sierra Greer. This is one that I own on audiobook thanks to Libro FM and HarperCollins for a gifted copy, and I haven't gotten to it yet, so now's the perfect time because it was on the 2024 list. What I know about this one is we are following Annie is a robot. She's created to be the perfect girlfriend, do everything her boyfriend Doug asks of her, but she starts to get ideas in her head about a life without him. So this one again has me very intrigued. I am planning to read it for a vlog. You might start to pick out a pattern with one of the other books that I picked out, but I will be reading this one for sure in November. And the last of my first initial 5 is yellow. And the last prompt, the initial 5, is from Around the Year in 52 Books again, and this is for a main character who is Black, Indigenous, or a person of color. And then for an author who is Black, Indigenous, or person of color, I am going to be reading The Paranormal Ranger by Stanley Milford Jr. That says, a Navajo investigator's search for the unexplained. This is a nonfiction, and November is Nonfiction November, so I do try to pick up some more nonfiction in the month of November. So this one sounds really intriguing. It is the author's memoir about investigations into bizarre cases of the paranormal and unexplained in Navajo land, and it sounds really interesting. This author was part of the Navajo Rangers, graduated from Navajo Police Academy, and has had some interesting cases, it sounds like. So one that's had me very intrigued since I received this gifted copy from William Morrow. I got one duplicate with 2 green, so let's do one more. Also green, which has no bearing on anything, but it's also green. And the final prompt is a book from a recent haul, which, given that I have hauled a lot recently, gives me many options. For a recent haul, I think I'm going to go with Clara in the Sun. This is by Kazuo Shiguro, and this is one that I picked up specifically for a vlog that I'm going to be working on in November. And in this one, we're following an artificial friend named Clara, who is in a store, and she's watching the humans pass by in the hopes that someone will come and take her home. Then things change, and Clara is warned not to invest too much in the promises of humans. So I'm very intrigued by this one. I've heard some good things about it, so I am hopeful that I will enjoy this one. So this is my official Promptball TBR, plus of course Anniebot and 1 Second After. So very reasonable, not picking necessarily the shortest of books entirely, but very reasonable. But of course, there's always more. November is the final book support group session for 2024. This is a fantastic readathon, which I have truly appreciated over the years, that comes to us from Steph at Steph Loves. And the whole premise of this readathon is to continue and finish, especially finish, series. So this is something I always struggle with, mainly because I just have too many to get to. So I am planning on putting together kind of a priority list, not just for this readathon because I won't get through everything I want to in the space of a week, but I am planning to put this priority list together to give myself a goal of the books that I need to be focusing on when these readathons come up. And in general, I'm trying to get to a few series continuations each month anyway. So that'll be coming soon. I'm not quite sure yet what I'll be reading for that during the November session, but I will for sure be doing some series continuation and hopefully finishing out a few of those series. And then I also have a few arcs that I need to get to. That is something I'm going to prioritize in November as well. I've got This Is Why We Can't Have Nice Things by Naomi Wood. This one says it comes out on November 24th, and it's a short story collection focusing in on the dark side of femininity and family and the like. Then I have Eddie Winston is Looking for Love by Marianne Cronin. This one, the publication date has been pushed back. I think it's now at the end of December, but I am hoping to get to it sooner rather than later. We're following Eddie, who is 90 years old. He's lived a good life, but he's never been kissed. And he meets Bella, who's a troubled 24-year-old who is determined to find him love. And it sounds like it could be super heartwarming and kind of in the vein of other books that I've truly loved. And this is a gifted copy from Harper Perennial. And then also from Harper, I have Buried Road by Katie Tallow, and this one comes out on December 3rd, so I definitely want to read it in November. This one, we are following a mother and daughter, it sounds like, and the man described as the mother, Gus's love of her life, has gone missing during a camping trip and devastated them both, but something years later has come to light. His camper has been found. He suddenly has an obituary in the paper, and they're gonna go find out what's going on. And then I have a couple of e-arcs to get to as well. First off, I have What the Woods Took by Courtney Gould. This one is set to be published on December 10th, and I received a gifted copy from St. Martin's Press. This one says, Yellow Jackets meets Girl Interrupted when a group of troubled teens in a wilderness therapy program find themselves stranded in a forest full of monsters eager to take their place. It's described as both emotional and horrible, and I saw someone say the author had said people will need therapy after this book, so I'm intrigued to check it out. And then last but not least, I have Servant of Earth by Sarah Hawley, and this one is publishing on November 12th, so I'll be reading it soon, and this is a gifted copy from Berkeley Publishing. And this one says, In the underground Fey realm, only the strongest and most ruthless have power, but a young human woman forced into a life of servitude is about to change everything. So I'm looking forward to that one as well. Beyond that, of course, there's more. I'm not going to go through every single book I plan to read this month. We'd be here far too long, but I do want to highlight a few things. I am planning another installment of the Procrastination Project, where I get to those books that I keep hitting deliver later on for Libby. I've done one installment so far and had a lot of fun doing it, so looking forward to trying to get another one of those in this month. I'm working on putting together a new weekend challenge concept for myself and for this channel. I had so much fun in October, kind of with the roll as you go concept of all the readathons I was participating in, and getting that split moment decision of what book I'm going to pick up and actually start reading it right away, so it's something that I'm in the mood for in the moment. So the first installment of that should be coming out very soon, hopefully, as well. And I am planning to keep working on finishing out my seasonal spooky challenge from Cassidy at Covers with Cassidy, and I am getting pretty close to being done. I did DNF one of the books I was planning to read, so I do need to figure out a replacement for that one. And then I think the only kind of bonus prompt that I'm still working on is hands, so I am planning to pick up Cosmology of Monsters by Sean Hamill. That certainly has hands on the cover, and it's something that I am planning to read for a vlog this month as well. So this one, we're dealing with a family who can see monsters with different levels of acceptance and avoidance of the concept and what ensues from that. So this is part of my TBR for the month, but there's a lot of plans I have and a lot more to get to. Hoping to get a lot of series in, a lot of nonfiction in, and just a lot of fun, hopefully. So with that, I will go ahead and wrap things up here. Give me a comment below if you have any ideas for things to add to my prompt ball. Do you have any ideas of what would make a really fun reading challenge just over the space of a weekend? I'm always looking for more ideas for all of the ways I pick books. Let me know if you've read any of these books. Do you have any of these on your TBR? Let me know all your thoughts down below. And if you've made it this far and you don't have anything to comment, go ahead and give me a ball emoji for prompt ball. I would surely appreciate it if you could hit that like button below if you enjoyed this TBR video, and subscribe if you're interested in more of my prompt ball, more of my thoughts on these books, and more of my bookish content in general. But for now, I'll leave you here and see you real soon in a new video.